Remember when you all laughed at me when I said that Ole is going to get sacked by Christmas?
Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H. Double H.
So he's won the vote of confidence. That's what I'm. He's won the vote of confidence right now, and all signs are now looking towards that Everton game. Well, we're having a meal. We're having a meal. So I think we're going to do like a live Twitch. We're going to do a live Twitch for that match, Everton against Man United, because this Man United story has been supremely, amazingly fascinating. But I want to give it real to you, because the whole point of the Football Hut is that we give you that real talk. No BS, no ifs, no buts, no misconstruements. Everything is straight down the barrel. Straight down the barrel 100%. We do not mess around. We don't mess around here. So Solskjaer is not winning anything with Man United. Solskjaer isn't taking Man United back to the top. Solskjaer is not taking Man United forward. Beating PSG or beating Man City in a one-off game doesn't move your club forward. Moving your club forward is, okay, we finished second. Or we won an FA Cup. We won a trophy. We got to the CL semis. That is moving your club forward. Solskjaer is not the right man for this club. He will never be the right man for this club. And he has only been kept in this job because of people's sentiment. If Ole-Gunnar Solksjaer was Ole-Gunnar Ragbeg, who never sniffed a United jersey, he'd be sacked by now. He'd be sacked. He'd never even be hired. Solskjaer has been given the job and has been given 9 lives because of a goal he scored in 1999. That's it. Based on what he did in 1999, based on what he did in a previous century, is why he has this job still. Or else he'd have been sacked already. Okay, shout out to your boy Istanbul Basaksehir. Shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to those dudes. Demba Ba, I see you, baby. That G was huge. So that's just the facts of the matter here that we have to deal with. That our dear friend Solskjaer was never that dude. He was never that dude. And because I just did like this just for the Patreon peeps, I did like a goal analysis of Demba Ba's goal in the Champions League. And the thing about our goal is, you can say the players and so forth. I'm looking at the manager, because looking at that goal in full, that is one of the most shocking things I've ever seen. It's one of the most shocking goals that I've ever seen. Based on just, because I looked at the time, 11 minutes and 30 something seconds. There are 9 outfield players camped into the box in the 11th minute of the game against Istanbul Basaksehir. As a manager, you should be like, yo, bro, halfway line. Did you really? You shouldn't underestimate a team like that, but to underestimate them to the point where Matic is the only guy back there and Demba Ba receives the ball through a long ball in his own half. This is what I keep on saying, that Solskjaer keeps on tricking you United fans, and you keep falling for it. You keep falling for it. You keep falling for his trick. This guy uses witchcraft and white magic. And I get it. It is witchcraft and white magic, and the whole point of witchcraft and white magic is to bamboozle you and confuse you. But I am here to make you see the light. It's your boy H. I'm here to give you light and to make you see the light, which is the fact of the matter is this. He uses trickery and sorcery by beating a big team. And when he beats a big team, you're like, surely he's the right man for the job. Surely we're back. But does beating a big team end with a trophy? I mean, does it? If it does, shut up. If beating a big team in a one-off game makes you end up with a trophy, disregard every single thing I've said. But Last I checked, it does not. Okay. This dude coached in the Norwegian league, I believe, and relegated Cardiff City. If you look at his CV ain't popping off. Okay? If he came into the United Job Center place and he showed me his CV, I'll say, cool. Can you please make use of that door that says EXIT? Please, just that door that says EXIT, I need you to use that now, please. If it says, but it's goal in 1999, I'd be like, oh, because you scored a goal in 1999, that means you're not the right manager for Manchester United, a club that needs to be winning trophies. See that door that says EXIT? I need you to use this right now, or else I'll bring in security right now. I told you I'll make a phone call. So, security, throw this guy out of here right now. So, this is a name that's been branded about. It's time for us to have an honest conversation about this dude. Poch, yes, Pochettino. Can we have an honest conversation about Pochettino? Can we? Sure. Let's have an honest conversation about Pochettino. Did amazing things for Tottenham, made Tottenham competitive, ending with taking them to the Champions League final, which was a great, amazing achievement. When Louis van Gaal was hired, he won the Champions League with an extremely young Ajax side back in 1995, as well as coaching Barcelona. When Mourinho was hired, two-time Champions League winner, multiple Premier League titles, multiple Serie A titles. He enhanced Tottenham's image, made them a much more competitive team. Did they win a trophy? Or are you going to fall for the same thing? Because there are parallels between Pochettino and David Moyes. Ooh, what? David Moyes? Didn't David Moyes finish fourth with Everton? Didn't David Moyes take Everton to the Champions League? And that Everton team that David Moyes had, without James Rodriguez, without Andre Gomez, without Calvert-Lewin, without any of these dudes, was vastly inferior to a Tottenham side who had a player who was consistently one of the top 3 strikers in the league. But the notion was, David Moyes, look at how well he's done with Everton. Surely if he has better players, he will do supremely well. Look at how well Pochettino did with Tottenham. Surely if he's given United its team with better players, they will do much better. Are you going to fall for that trick again? I will never, ever forgive Pochettino for what he did in the Champions League final. What he did in that CL final, I wiped my hands clean. That guy, pata. Never. A man that scored a hat-trick, that got you to the final, you bench him for, yes, one of your best players and your main striker who hadn't played in 2 months. And this dude came up with some explanation on Sky Sports by saying, "Oh, this was a dream that me and Harry Kane had too, because we grew together, and for this to be the Champions League final." So let me get this straight. Are you telling me that you played Harry Kane in that final, knowing that he wasn't fully fit and he not played for 2 months, because you felt that you owed him, based on how he had helped you through the years and the ups and downs of Tottenham? So you felt that you owed him an appearance that's far. Okay, if you feel you owe him, bring him off the bench. But he even if he was past fit, this is a Champions League final. And a certain setup and team and a certain way of playing got you to this final. Which means that as a manager, the most responsible thing to do is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the guy that scored you the hat trick, 3 goals in 1.5, you bench him? Once he did that, it's like, no. I mean, because that was such a big time decision. It was crazy. And you ask any Liverpool fan, remember we were doing upper previews. Every Liverpool fan was praying he started with Harry Kane, because Liverpool fans were saying that our defense can deal with a Harry Kane who isn't as mobile or as quick. Specifically that he's not played in 2 months, so obviously he does not have match sharpness, because there's you being fit, then there's you being match fit. To be match fit, you need to play a whole multitude of games. Because the smart thing to do was you start with a Moura, you probably go a goal down, then you say Harry Kane, 50 minutes, just trying to help us do something. Go, because we need a goal. Harry Kane, come in here last 15, 60 minutes, trying to get us a goal to try and get us back in the game. You don't start with him. Because that's not a lineup that has grown and fought together, because this team have forgotten how to play with Harry Kane, because they've not played with Harry Kane for 2 months. It was such a bad managerial decision that he couldn't afford to get wrong, because the Champions League final is something that doesn't come around often, specifically for a Tottenham where they may never get there ever again. So, for United, are you sure Pochettino is actually the right man? How good of a manager is he really? Because this is the mistake that many people make. He did so well with a team this good. If we give him a better team, he will do better. That was what people were thinking with the David Moyes ideology. Like, look at how good David Moyes did with Everton. He made them punch well above their weight. Imagine what he will do with a better team. Football doesn't work. Football is complicated. Football isn't 1 + 1 = 2. That's the beauty of football. That is the complexity of football, is that 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. So, of course, Pochettino is a decent manager. Is he the right man? I don't know. So you then say, okay, HH, you've talked, okay. Who is the right man for United then? Who is the right man for United? It's a name that I keep on propping up. And look, it's very tough because it's something that I need to think about, but you look at the situation that United have now, it's a difficult one. Because you can go one of 2 ways. One is very risky, one is safe. And sometimes, as they say, no risk, no reward. You can go the risky way, which is the Arteta way. Somebody who has experience as an assistant coach, been in around next to a top manager and so forth, and then he can bring him into the fray to say what's up. Someone like that, who then can bring new, fresh ideas. Or you're looking at someone like a Nagelsmann, who is a young coach, a young manager, and is doing amazing things. So it's not about, it's the same thing with Moyes. No, he's punching above his weight with Leipzig. No. He's genuinely a good manager. And the fact that he's so young shows you that he's a guy that obviously has new, fresh ideas and is very much in line with modern methods of coaching and training and preparing a team. That's the thing. But then another thing is, and people will say, this guy, we don't know this guy, but I always bring this guy up. And I think this guy is greatly underappreciated. And that is a Rafa Benitez. Rafa Benitez is a very good manager. A very good manager. Of course, with every manager, it's not always been great for him. Look at Ancelotti. When Ancelotti was at Bayern Munich, it didn't work out. So for Benitez, when he was at Inter Milan, it didn't work out. But look at what he did for Valencia, what he did for Liverpool. Even if he was maligned, he still won a trophy with Valencia, won a trophy with Liverpool, won a trophy with Chelsea. with all the stuff that was against him, he still did pretty well for Newcastle based on the kind of stuff that was on hand. So much so that when he got sacked, Newcastle fans were pissed off with Mike Ashley. So I'm not saying Benitez is the man. But if it's between Benitez, that's like if it's between Benitez and Pochettino, Benitez is a better option because Benitez has shown you that he can win trophies. And if you're looking at both CVs, Benitez's CV is better than Pochettino's CV because, yes, you say, oh, he got into a Champions League final, which was a weird way that they got to the final. Did they win the final? They lost. Oh, no. They lost the final. And one thing you'll say about Rafa Benitez, because people will say, oh, Benitez, I believe, in my opinion, unless you can tell me otherwise, the greatest halftime team talk of all time was Benitez's halftime team talk for Liverpool against AC Milan. I don't know what he said. I don't even know whether he said anything. But what that team did after halftime in that Champions League final against one of the most talented Champions League sides, to this day, I still want answers. To this day, I still think white magic was used there. I don't understand what happened in that final. So a manager that can make his team come out like that in the second half based on what they were 3-0 down against a team like that is a manager that you have to respect. So, for United fans, that's where you're at right now. And I'll end it like this. What do you want? To win trophies and to move forward, or just to remain competitive? It's your choice. Thanks for watching the vid. And remember to head to the official website for the latest on my blog, rankings, breaks, and the Hall of Fame on halfupfootballhot.com. Don't forget to like the vid, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button up there.